and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Blue Diamond, Marco Pesenti.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Italy, my wonderful country. Welcome and thank you. Well, 326%. What does this number represent? For sure something that has changed my doTERRA business, but we'll see it in a moment. First, allow me to ask you a question. Raise your hand if you often wonder what more I can do to grow my doTERRA business or to support my team. Come on, don't be shy, raise your hands. Awesome. I understand you very well because every morning since I joined doTERRA almost 7 years ago, I ask myself the same question. What more I can do to further support my team and their growth? And I ask myself this question also on the morning of the 22nd of July 2023, the day this story begins. At that time I was a diamond struggling to maintain my rank. Let's say that I was a super solid gold. 1 month I was gold, the next one I was diamond, then gold again, then diamond, and there wasn't even platinum. It was very frustrating. I was always looking for new ways to motivate people to act, to help them grow, but I never seemed to achieve the stability and the growth I desired. It was always a chase after people, sometimes even doing the work for them. Does this sound familiar to any of you? Well, if you remember last year at the convention in Lisbon, Matt Hall talked about throwing chickens. Yeah, exactly. I know that you remember very well because he talked about throwing chickens into the air. You keep lifting them, but they cannot fly on their own. Why we need eagles to make our business soar? Well, I was busy most of the time throwing chickens into the air until the 22nd of July 2023, the day that everything changed, because I attended an event in Bologna with my wife Gloria, here in the picture with me, and this event was a business event organized by doTERRA, and there was a special guest, a super special guest that all of you knows, Elena Cimpuescu, and and thank you, Elena, for being such an inspiration for all these people and for me as well, because you gave me a great help, like I'm going to tell you now, because at that event, Elena gave a speech, an incredible speech as usual, but when she said that she had an incredible growth, an exponential growth, by doing a crazy numbers of events in just a few months, something clicked in my mind. And I realized that I had to put all my energies in what we often say only words: lead by example. How many times do we look at wellness advocates in our teams and we criticize their job because they don't work as we would like, because they don't do enough classes, or because they don't give enough priority to this business? How many times instead do we look at what we are doing and what more we could do? Well, at that precise moment, I realized that the extra support I could give to my team was to show them that I was in first line personally, doing exactly what I wanted them to do as well. It's like a general watching the battle from atop of a hill, or a general in front line leading the charge. And for those who watch the movie The Gladiator, since we are in Italy, it's like to be Commodus who always hides and tells others what to do, or being Maximus, always in the front line and an example to all. So, who do you want to be? Maximus or Commodus? I wanted to be Maximus, and so I decided to participate in 100 events by the end of the year, online, but most of all offline, all over Italy, to talk about the products, to talk about the business of opportunity, never forget the business of opportunity, but also to train existing customers and wellness advocates. So, what did I do? Number one, social announcement. To make this challenge concrete and practical from the beginning, I talked about it on social media, and here I am in this picture on the terrace of our vacation home on the 2nd of August, announcing publicly on all my social media profiles the start of this challenge. And this had 3 positive consequences. Number one, many people, many wellness advocates from my team started writing to me asking to organize events all over Italy. So since the beginning we had an incredible teamwork. And then many other people that were not yet enrolled in doTERRA wrote me asking to be notified when I will be in their city, but above all, exposing myself on social media was crucial, because as long as you keep the challenge for yourself, you can give up at any time, but when you commit publicly, there is no turning back. You have to keep going and do your best. So another thing that I had to do was to plan the events, for sure. And I can tell you that I did events everywhere, in private houses, in holistic centers, in yoga studios, even in pet grooming shops, you can see from this picture. And if you look carefully at these other photos, these other pictures, you see how often they were not large groups, but small groups. You don't need huge audiences to start doing your own class. I believe that the best classes are the ones with 7, 8 people maximum. And why? Because they are more informal, they are more intimate. So you can start doing your own class right away with a few people. And now, someone might ask, okay, I can organize all the events I want, but where do I find people to attend these events? I can tell you what we did. We had in total 908 people attending our events since the beginning of the challenge, and here is what we have done. Number one, organic traffic on social media. Organic traffic means that you get contacts for free. You don't have to pay to get those contacts, and you do this by simply posting your events on all your social media profiles. This is what I do every time I have to promote an event. I go on Canva, I create a graphic on my event in a story size, like the one you see on the screen, and then I post the very same graphic on all my social media profiles. This is very smart, because you do the work once, but you get multiple exposure. Then, of course, we used also paid traffic on social media. Paid traffic means that you pay a few euros per day, Facebook and Instagram, to show your events to people interested in natural well-being. In other cases, I mean, always we use also another way to expand our cycles of contacts in an easy and a free way. We always ask the attendees if they had any friend to come to the meeting with, and in some other cases, we did it the old-fashioned way, simply with posters in local shops. And about this last point, I know that everywhere there is always someone who says, I cannot organize a class because people living in my area are not interested, or I live in a small town, in a small village. Well, I thought the same, but I'm sorry to tell you, these are all excuses, because and I can prove you that. I live in a small village. We are about 3,000 people. Just to give you an idea, today here we are 4,000 people. So, you can have an idea. And last September, I decided to organize 3 classes just by promoting them with posters in local shops. In particular, I used this poster that you see behind me on the screen, a very easy graphic that any one of you here today can do on Canva. I translated it into English for you. And just by using this poster in local shops, more than 30 people came. So, there are really no excuses. If you want to do it, you do it. Full stop. Now, you may wonder, but how did the challenge end? Did I reach my goal to do 100 classes before the end of the year or not? What do you say? Yes or not? Wow, I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, I didn't reach it. And I stopped at 58 events. And okay, I didn't mark some of them down, but you know there were no more than 10, so for sure I didn't arrive at 100. And so I failed the challenge, apparently. I say apparently because it was actually a great success, mainly for 2 reasons. Number 1 is focus. You have no idea how much this challenge helped me to always stay focused, even when the temptation to sit back was strong. There was truly a continuous vortex of positive energy. Imagine talking to so many new people every day, organizing events, receiving requests from all over, and above all, seeing your team grow and enrollments come in. I mean, this is very incredible, and this is important because not only allows you to stay focused and on high vibrations, but it also doesn't demoralize you when someone says no. Do you know which is one of the main enemies of a doTERRA awareness advocate? It is the rejection rocket. Hearing, no, I don't care, no, I'm not interested, no, they're too expensive, no, 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 can demoralize even the most motivated people. If you talk to 10 people and 8 of these 10 people say no, your mind focuses on those 8 no and begins to doubt and be uncertain, and this will lead to taking less actions and eventually maybe even stops your journey. But if you talk to 100 people and 8 of them say no, your mind focuses on those 20 who said yes, and your energy, your motivation, your enthusiasm will grow more and more. So the difference is made by the number of people you talk to, and this challenge helped me to interact with hundreds of people. So it was a success for this reason, but also for the numbers. Like every entrepreneur, to make a business work, you have to look at the numbers, and the numbers in this case speak for themselves. These on the back are the number of from August, December 2023 compared to the same period in 2022. So plus 48% overall volume, plus 15% team enrollments, and plus 55% personal enrollments. Okay, oh, thank you so much. I'm not showing you all of these numbers to show off, because I know that numbers are cold and often don't communicate humanity, but remember that behind numbers there are always people. People who decided to cooperate with me on this challenge, and as well as people who have discovered a new way to feel good with doTERRA product. So at the end of the year, I was really happy with the results that this challenge had given me. Even if I didn't reach my goal, I didn't care. So I decided to keep going in 2024 as well, also because I remember the words that my upline, Matt Hall, once told me. If you continue to work hard, at some point you'll see your team explode. And so I decided to go on with the same motivation, the same enthusiasm, the same energy that this challenge had given me. And in March, so 2 months ago, I did the event number 100, and the real explosion came in the first quarter of the year. These are the numbers of the first quarter of 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. And pay attention, because I like to highlight the number I showed you at the beginning. Plus 326% are the team enrollments. And this is amazing, because the challenge that I started apparently alone has actually inspired a lot of people to act, to move, to organize events. And I like to show you the results achieved by some wellness advocates of the team since the beginning of the from the beginning of the challenge and until March 2024. So I'm very grateful, and I thank you all. And thank you. But pay attention, as I told you before, please, I'm not showing you these results to show off, but rather to prove how your personal actions can make a difference and give life to a huge movement. I'm not a superhero. Any one of you here today can do what I did. You just have to decide it. And I can speak by direct experience, because this is me. Last year, the Empowerment Day in Lisbon, I was sitting there where you are today. Do you know how many leaders there were in my team back then? 4 silvers, that's it. And I promise you that if someone has told me that within a year I would be on this stage showing you these results, I wouldn't have believed it. But then the event in Bologna came. Elena said something that made me make the click I needed. And that was my turning point. So the event in Bologna was my turning point, and I really hope that today in Turin is your starting point. And if it will be only for one person, I will be happy, and my speech will have been worth something. But it's up to you to decide that it is. At this point, I have one last question for you, and I need your help. I know that almost all of you have your phone in your hand, so please turn your flashlight on at the same time, but keep it down for the moment. And at the same time, I ask the backstage if they can turn a little bit down the lights. Okay, I'll do the same. Wow, I start seeing all the lights. That's amazing. I'm going to do the same. So that, okay, here my light. Wow, oh my gosh, wow, it's like to be being at a concert. Okay, guys, so here's the question. Today, who will decide to make a serious commitment to their growth in doTERRA and their team? If you are willing to do so, raise your flashlight to the sky, and if you like, you can also stand up. Wow, it's incredible. Look around you. See how you're not alone on this journey, but you're surrounded by people who share your same path. Let yourself be guided and inspired by this life. Make sure also that this life defeats all your fears, all your excuses, all your "I'll do it tomorrows." Make sure also that this life not only lies your own path, but the path of the people sitting next to you as well. And finally, make a commitment today with yourself to do something you have never done before in doTERRA. And I promise you, your goals, your dreams will be closer than ever. Today, you decide to be Maximus and not Commodus. Thank you!